Hello everyone, Ollie here from 𝕣𝕖𝕧𝕚, and I'm finally here to give you my full review on Black Adam. So I was meant to make this video 2 nights ago when I watched it, but apologies, I had some stuff with my family and personal life and everything, so wasn't able to do that when I could. So I'm here now, so better late than never. I say late because it's been out for a while now, almost a year ago now, because it's now September and it came out last October, so I'm just saying. I did say I was going to review the 2 Shazam films, this and The Flash, which I'm going to still do The Flash at some point, but whenever I can. So I'm here now with Black Adam, and if you haven't watched my last video that I did, which was Shazam for You with the Gods review, I did say that I did start watching this, and I wasn't a big fan. I think I watched about 20 minutes of it, and I just turned it off because I was like... But I'm kind of glad that I rewatched it again, because for a second time, it's a better watch, because I knew what was coming, mainly for a starter, and then also I wanted to give it another chance, because, even though it didn't get great reviews when it first came out, I just, I always like giving things a chance, so gave it a second watch, and tried to finish the film, and obviously I managed to, so here I am. So I do have a what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to break this video down by reading you a quick synopsis of the film, or plot to the film. So for people that haven't watched the film, turn off if you want to watch the film and you haven't had a chance yet, or if you don't care, or if you already watched the film, please keep watching. But yeah, I've basically, whilst I was watching the film, I was putting down some notes of basically the basic plot synopsis of the film, and also some of the characters and what they're like, and what their names are, and their hero names, and what they do basically. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to break down the plot synopsis, talk about the things that I like about the film and what I don't like about the film, because there are things that I don't like. Even though I was kind of surprised, but not hugely surprised by the film, but yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna break down the plot synopsis, talk about my positives, my negatives, and then my rating, the overall rating. So we're first opened up in the film, set in 2600 BC, I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, this film begins opening up, setting in 2600 BC in Kahndaq. Is it a fictional place? I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, so Kahndaq, 2600 BC, and King Acton, weird name, a cruel and harsh ruler, so he's a prick, basically, and he's obsessed with dark magic. His goal was to forge the crown of Sabak, or Sabak, I don't know how you pronounce it. Basically, if he made the crown, he would basically become invincible, basically. So to make the crown, he needed this magical, mineral of magic properties called Eternium. That's how you pronounce it. It's a bit blurry because I took a photograph of it once I finished it. So yeah, found only in Kahndaq, so it's a very rare mineral. So basically, he enslaved his people to basically find this, to find the mineral, and one of his slaves ended up finding it, well, a chunk of it anyway, and he basically tried to keep it for himself so that he could give it to them, so he could, be rewarded. Also, I'll explain that in a second, because, so people noticed that he had it, and he was grasping on it, and he was like, oh, people around him were like, oh, he's got the mineral, he's got it, take it, so we can get rewarded. But he ended up giving it to not the king, but one of his guards, I think, and basically he was begging this guard, saying, oh, I want a reward, I found this rare mineral. So the guard said, oh, you want a reward? Come here. And he basically just fucking stabs him and just pushes him off a cliff. And he's dead, obviously. And then a child, basically, is also a child slave, basically. Which I initially thought was was 𝕤𝕗𝕬𝕧 or Black Adam. Dwayne Johnson's because he's bald, but he wasn't. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, there's a kid that basically wants Acton gone. So do obviously the slaves, but the kid makes a massive point. He does this like, I can't do it because obviously I've got the camera in my hand, but he does this thing with his hands, his two hands, and he does it on like this big mountain, and all the people are below, and they start doing it, and then basically the boy gets captured, and basically the Council of Wizards, including the wizard from Shazam, I've forgotten his name. Oh, his name's Shazam. So basically the Magical Guardians of Earth, yeah, from Shazam in brackets. The boy was chosen. Where'd that go? Oh, yeah, so the boy was chosen to become a champion, known as now Black Adam, but they didn't call him Black Adam. So after basically Teth basically kills the king, we're now in Kahndaq, present day, basically. So Kahndaq is now occupied by the international mercenaries, the Intergang. Sorry, this camera's going all over the place. Get it up here. The latest in a secrets of foreign invaders, basically. We meet these people that are in a van, and basically you got a woman called Adriana. I think that's her name, Adriana. So she's basically an archaeologist, university professor, basically, and I think she's like a warrior, a fighter, a resistance fighter, an archaeologist. So her brother, Corinne, I think it's Corinne, and two of her colleagues, Samir and Ishmael, don't know how you pronounce these names, I apologise, are hunting for the crown of Sabak. So they basically Adriana knows the location of the crown, basically, in this like cave. And basically when they get there, her and two of the colleagues, her brother stays in the car because he has a knackered knee, basically. He can't really walk properly. So they go in, they find all this encrypted stuff, all this inscription stuff all along the walls. So in the end they basically obtain the crown. When they take it, as soon as Adriana takes the crown, Intergang basically, all the troops of Intergang basically gang in and storm in, and basically they kill one of the colleagues, Samir, I think, and he's never seen again, obviously, because he's killed. So basically Adriana reads the incantation to basically awaken 𝕤𝕗𝕬𝕧 or Black Adam from slumber, because he's actually asleep. Well, we'll get to more of that later. But yeah, basically she wakes up by saying the word Shazam, obviously. So basically 𝕤𝕗𝕬𝕧 basically takes out all the troops. And there's this, we'll get to the negative. There's a negative bit in that scene with all the troops and the dialogue and everything. It's awful, but I'll get to that later when I talk about my negatives. But basically he takes out all the troops. He's fucking gnarly. He basically takes one of the troops and melts him, because obviously he has electric powers, and he basically melts him into bones. It's oof. I wouldn't say it's graphic, but it's quite violent. So then after basically he kills all the troops, there's all these helicopters coming, because more Intergang troops come. Basically 2 helicopters come, several cars come with a bunch of troops. Takes out all the helicopters and basically everyone, and he basically sees, whilst Adriana and her brother and one of the other colleagues, basically they drive away in the van, and whilst they drive away, Black Adam sees them, doesn't attack them, and basically one of the Intergang is actually still there, and basically launches this missile that has this, well, has the substance in it. What is it called again? Interium, whatever it's called, that magic substance thing. Magic, oh yeah, the mineral magic properties, that stuff. The Interium. So there's basically a tube of that in the missile, so when he grabs it, it explodes, and I guess that's a weakness of his, and basically there's like a patch on his chest, basically. Not on his chest, but he's like on his body, on his like stomach area. It basically weakens him to the point where he actually gets knocked out. Oh, sorry, he gets unconscious. Doesn't get knocked out, but he gets unconscious. And then basically, Adriana takes him to her home. Bit of a stupid decision, but takes her home. Puts him on her son's bed, and the son of Adriana is actually the narrator at the beginning, which is cool. And he's a fan of Black Adam and all that historical stuff, because obviously he narrates it. And basically, so Black Adam wakes up, or Death Adam wakes up in the son's bedroom. The son's there, I guess, when he wakes up, and he's like, "Oh, yo, don't worry, Mum's..." Basically, they taped his injury up, and he basically took it off and basically just mended it by just using the lightning powers. So yeah, I'm going to try and skip ahead. So basically then we're introduced to the Justice Society, which includes Carter Hall, aka Hawkman. He's the leader of the Justice Society. He basically wields technology and weapons made of some substance from another planet. And then you got Maxine Hunkel, aka Cyclone, which I actually really liked. I'll mention her later. She has wind manipulation, powers, computer skills, and is smart as hell, according to Hawkman. I've got Kent Nelson, aka Dr. Fate. I liked him as well. So Dr. Fate basically has he can see the future basically, and yeah, basically he has a helmet. He has weird powers. I can't describe what the powers are, but he has really cool powers. And then we see that Amanda Waller is in the film for a little bit, not very long, but so she gets together with Hawkman, or Carter Hill, or Hall, sorry, and he basically tries to gather up all the villains like in Suicide Squad, but better. So they get all that team together. Oh, also Atom Smasher, of course, who basically inherits his uncle's, because his uncle used to be Atom Smasher, and then now he's taking over his role basically as Atom Smasher. He's basically the comedic relief of the film, basically. He makes mainly most of the jokes. Justice Society are after Black Adam, or Death Adam, as he's known in this film. So they go after him, whilst Intergang are after Adriana for the crown, basically. So there's this like massive triangle where basically Adriana's in trouble, and then Death Adam needs to get captured because of his crimes. And yeah, basically this ends up with a massive battle between Black Adam and the Justice Society. It's weird because Black Adam isn't really a full-on supervillain in this. He starts off showing as a villain, but eventually becomes more of a hero. I mean, he's supposed to be champion of Kahndaq, but you know. At first, obviously, he's quite leery and confused and everything, and he doesn't really understand, but then he comes to terms and kind of knows who he really is. He's like, I'm no hero. I mean, it's Dwayne Johnson, obviously, The Rock. He does an okay job, but so he's all leery. He has the statue, who at first you presume it's him, but it's actually his son. He was actually the little bald boy in the opening. And you actually find out that the little boy, the little boy, at the start, you see the back of his, you think his dad, and his dad is actually Death Adam, which is cool. So basically, to sum it all up quickly, Death Adam is the dad of the little boy at the start, and basically the little boy basically sacrifices his own life for him. So yeah, it was pretty gnarly, really. Which is weird, because I thought the little boy was Death Adam, but younger, but no. So that was a cool reveal, and I didn't... Again, I guess the audience is kind of assumed that the little boy was Death Adam, but anyway. So I'm going on way too long, but anyway. So the Justice Society has, like, ancient texts hidden away, and basically reveal that Black Adam didn't return to seek justice, but to seek revenge from the king. So when when Adam destroyed the palace, the Council of Wizards deemed him unworthy. So they sealed him in a sealed him in the ground to, keep him away from Karnduk. So it wasn't actually a tomb, it was a prison cell basically in the ground, which is oof. So basically, to begin with, Adam, because obviously the Justice Society is after him. At first he was like, oh, I'm going to follow them because, I don't want them to take me away. But after he hears Adriana go on about it and tells him that you are actually seeking out to revenge, because obviously he was leery and everything, and not basically to seek justice, but to seek revenge. He basically goes, okay, I'll hear them out, because they want to talk to him and say, look, can you please surrender, and we don't want to fight, we just want you to surrender and we'll obviously take you away in the nicest possible way. So Teth says, I'll hear them out, but if they choose to fight, they choose to die, basically. Which is nice. So basically the King's assassins kill Teth Adam's son. And obviously I'd said that he sacrificed his life to save his. So the powers that were given to Teth weren't a gift from the wizards, it was a curse. I'm going to jump again because I'm going way too long. Basically, Dr. Fate basically hides the fact that it is Hawkman's fate to die, because you see like the visions and they're basically later on in the film basically seeing that in the future that Hawkman is basically destined to die and it was his fate basically. When Dr. Fate basically reveals that to Hawkman, he's like, oh, well, if it's fate then it needs to happen, basically. And yeah, I don't want to go on too long with the positives, but I'll talk about the post-credit scene. So there is only one post-credit scene in this, or one mid-credit scene. Is it mid-credit scene? Yeah, I would say it's a mid-credit scene. And it involves, everyone knows about it, everyone was talking about it online when it released. It was obviously Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, and apparently it was setting up a versus movie between Black Adam and Superman, supposedly. But since the new DCEU, Henry was obviously stepping down as Superman. People say that he was fired, but according to James Gunn, he was never fired. Because he was never hired to be Superman in the new DCU, or the DCU, sorry. So he technically wasn't fired. He was stepping down basically. And I don't really know how I think about that, but anyway, it's a bit sad that he was stepped down, because his reveal at the end was so cool when he was like in the mist and he came out. That was really cool. And basically he's like, oh, we should talk. And then Black Adam gave him a smile, or smirk rather, and it was like, oh god, it's gonna be set up, but it's not gonna happen now because it's been cancelled now basically. But yeah, I know I've rambled on for quite a while and there's probably things that I haven't mentioned, but if you have any questions, guys, as always, let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to tell you that I haven't mentioned. But as of positive and negatives, I'll talk about now. Positives, some of the special effects were really good. Also like some of the characters. As I briefly mentioned earlier, I liked Cyclone. I thought she was cool, or they, I don't know, because the actress is a they and is non-binary. I don't know if this character is non-binary or if if they're classified as a female. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if you know. I also liked Atom Smasher. Obviously Atom Smasher is very much like Ant-Man, except he doesn't shrink, he grows. And he shrinks back down to normal size, but he also has a mask like Deadpool, like with the white eyes, but instead of red it's blue, which I don't hate, but you can clearly see it's like a knockoff, but it's fine, I'm not bothered by that. So Atom Smasher is a mix between Deadpool and Ant-Man. Cyclone, I said, she's really cool, and they're really cool. I really like Dr. Fate, he was really cool. So he originally was part of the Justice Society, but I guess he stepped down because his old age, I guess. But yeah, Hawkman was good. He was probably my least favourite. Or Atom Smasher, I don't know. Between the two, I don't know. But I really like Dr. Fate and Cyclone, they're really cool. All their powers were really cool, all of them. I mean, Hawkman didn't have powers. He just had a really nice type of armor. He was just strong, really. Hawkman was basically like, he was like Falcon. And then you got Dr. Fate, who was basically like Doctor Strange in a way, mixed with another Marvel hero that I'm trying to think of. I can't remember their name, but yeah, their powers are very similar, like and looks like some of the Marvel characters, or Marvel heroes rather. But I didn't hate that. It didn't really bother me all that much. But yeah, this film was a mid film. It wasn't excellent. It wasn't terrible like some people making out to be. Yeah, I like most of the characters. I didn't really. Some of them weren't stinkers. I don't know. I thought Dwayne Johnson did a good enough job as Black Adam, or Teth Adam rather. I keep saying Black Adam, but he's not known as Black Adam in this. He's known as Teth Adam. But then he's renamed at the very end to Black Adam without them actually saying Teth Adam. They said, "Oh, we shouldn't call you Teth Adam. We should give you another name." And then it cuts to the logo, Black Adam, to the credits, which is cool. So I thought the action sequences were quite cool. There were a couple of moments where you're like, again, green screen, but it was fine. It didn't really take me out of the movie all that much. But yeah, I had a good enough time with it. I'm surprised by it, certainly, after my first time watch, well, trying to watch it for the first time, but I ended up liking it more than I thought when I came to this for the second time. But yeah, I like some of the characters. Action sequences were great. I thought the tone was fine. Sure, it was a little bit wavy. Sometimes it was comedic. Sometimes it was like dark, especially that opening sequence. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. But negative wise, there was some lines of dialogue which I just found really cheesy and bad. Like there, I briefly mentioned when I was breaking down the plot synopsis. There was this guard, part of the inter gang. There was this bold guy. He was terrible. He was like, "Put your hands up," or "Get on the ground," or something. He was just so cringe. But you know, he was not like a main character, so he wasn't that. I'm just glad that he wasn't there for the whole movie, because that would have just been awful. But anyway, that was kind of a nitpick, but it still classifies as a negative, so I'll put it in there. Yeah, some of the other characters had weird lines of dialogue. Again, because it's been a couple of days since I last saw it, I can't really but I just remember thinking to myself, there are some lines of dialogue in this film that are just cringe, just so basic. Yeah. Other negatives, I don't know. Let me know if, again, with questions wise, let me know in the comments if there's anything you think, oh, is this a negative? Point it out and I'll let you guys know if I liked it or not. Yeah, positive and negatives. I think I basically covered positives. I really like some of the special effects. Again, some of the green screeny stuff were noticeable, but didn't really take me out of the movie all that much. Some of the characters I really liked. Negatives, some of the dialogue was bad. Other than that, it was an okay film. It just felt quite generic for the most part. There were some cool sequences, but mainly quite generic. Mainly generic superhero film. But it wasn't awful by any means, but you know. Anyway, I'm going to give it a rating now. I'm going to give it I gave Shazam a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 6. It's a little bit better than Shazam Fury of the Gods in my eyes. That might be a hot take, but, you know, my opinion. Anyway, we're going to head off now, because throat's hurting from all the talking. So, again, let me know in the comments below if there's any questions you want me to answer, like, did you like this, did you not like this, what did you think about this? What do you think about this part of the film? What did you think about this character? Please let me know in the comments if I've missed anything, and I apologise if I have. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of Black Adam if you've watched the film, and yeah, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Again, comment below if you have any questions about the film. Yeah, make sure to subscribe also to stay up to date with our latest videos. And I'm possibly going to do a review for the Flash at some point. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.